Now this might, you know, maybe, might be shocking to you. Or it might be completely expected by you in this absurd, obscene financial system world we live in. Our debt only grows and grows and grows. It never comes down. And I said, you know, they could default on the dollar to an extent by devaluing it. That's one way. Or lower the interest rates. All these bonds we got to pay these interest payments to, great. Go negative. They'll be selling them right back to us, and we'll print more money and say, oh, here you go, for lesser than what they paid for the damn thing. There's one way we can get out of it. Matter of fact, that might be the only way. Those two options I gave you. Anyways, U.S. to, this is zero hedge, U.S. to start issuing a new 20-year bond, treasury bill bond, in first half of 2020 to fund the incredible, insane, soaring deficit. After more than 3 years of careful consideration whether to issue 50 or 100-year bonds to take advantage of record low yields and an unprecedented scramble for duration, late on Thursday, the Treasury announced the outcome of that process when it unveiled plans to issue 20-year bonds. 20-year bonds. Can you see why I like precious metals? And that I don't store them anywhere outside of my control? And can you see why I like cryptocurrencies? And do you see why I hold them in my own control, aside from a sliver that I trade with online on exchanges, because I have no choice if you're going to trade. And I do want to trade. But if I got wiped out on that trade amount, it would not hurt me that much at all. My big bag, HODL bag, is sitting over there, so to speak. I control the private keys. Not an exchange, not online. Oh, I'll buy a bond, pay me back in 20 years. As we have periodically reported over the past several years, the Treasury has explored a range of potential new debt products, including a 20-year, 50-year, and 100-year bond, as well as floating rates notes linked to the secured overnight funding rate, all with the goal of expanding borrowing capacity to finance the soaring federal deficit at the lowest possible cost. Again, this infuriates me. Why are we paying income tax when it cannot even kind of help bring this deficit down? It just goes worse and higher and higher and higher and worse. They're not raising taxes? Nope, we can't raise taxes. We'll just do this. So if you can do that, remove the taxes. We don't need them. If Donald Trump could pull that off, we no longer need income tax. Imagine how much money is extra in your pocket. Forget the negative interest rate thing. Oh my, I can get a house. How expensive? Because I'm only paying 1% interest? Whoa. Wow, I didn't even have to get a raise and I can already afford a nicer house. Woo. Forget that, because he's working on that. Bonus, throw me a freaking bonus. Okay, how about what I just said? On top of it. Anyways, how much money would you have if you didn't have to pay any income tax? Or, well, we're going to go to a flat rate. We're going to go to a flat rate at 5% for everybody. Well, how about 10%? Honestly, sign me up. Either or, whatever. Do you know the kind of money you'd have to spend? How the economy would absolutely explode with growth. Everybody, there would be like no unemployment. Everyone's... And then we find out, oh, and we're going to back this new system by gold. As QAnon said, we have the gold. We do have it. And it will destroy the Fed. I'm now going to go to qmap.pub. And I'm now going to type in the word gold. Approximately 7 QAnon drops, with the word gold. Oh, and I see the one that I like. I'm going to start at the bottom though. The oldest, November 22nd, 2017. This is around the time the Q got started. Uranium 1, California, European Union, Asia, Iran, North Korea. Iran deal. Why is this relevant? Reread drops regarding North Korea and Iran. Why? What does it mean to be covered in gold? Which couple was photographed covered in gold? The public release was a mistake. Who released the picture? Who has all the information? What does it mean to be covered in gold? Can you locate one other pic with Y head covered in gold? What does this represent? The sum of all fears. Okay, scrolling up. And it is, who is that? It's got that picture of that lady with like the damn Baphomet head thing on her head. Maybe Prince, one of the princes. Anyways. The sum of all fears. Okay, ancient Egyptians considered gold the skin of the gods, specifically the sun god Ra, and often used it to craft objects of spiritual significance. Q says, why is this relevant? The other gold is not, it's gold star, it's not talking about that. Next thing, Q posted December 12th, 2018. Q, question, do we have the gold? Answer, yes. Gold shall destroy the Fed. Q. And then they repeat it on July 9th, 2019. It's posted again, that what I just read you, in an additional CBS News link. CBSnews.com. Trump Fed pick wants to retrieve the gold standard. Or revive the gold standard. Here's what that means. Trump Fed pick wants to revive the gold standard. You mean the one we got off on in 1971? What you doing, son? Oh, you're going to go see Ian? Oh, yeah. No, I can't. I got a Zoom coming now. Tomorrow morning, though. I want to go tomorrow morning for sure, because that's when he's always awake. Every time I go hold this kid, he's sleeping in my arms. I'm like, come on, man, open those eyes. Little child, dry your crying eyes. How can Papa explain to you the fear you feel inside? That was a damn good 80s hairband song. When the Children Cry, I think by White Snake or White Lion. Maybe it was White Lion, not White Snake. White Snake was, here I go again on my own, I believe. Anyways, back to the article, before you were so rudely interrupted by myself. As President Trump named his picks to fill 2 influential seats on the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, the price of gold surged. That may be because one of them, Judy Shelton, is a believer in the return of gold to the gold standard, a monetary policy abandoned by the U.S. in 1971. Shelton is raising eyebrows among mainstream economists for her views, which include slashing the Fed's benchmark rate to 0. Oh, you mean like going negative like Donald Trump wants to do, or go to 0, whatever. And pegging the value of gold to gold prices. She's not the first. Well, value of gold. Jeez. Let me just read that over, because I just destroyed that one. Shelton is raising eyebrows among mainstream economists for her views, which include slashing the Fed's benchmark rate to 0 and pegging the value of the dollar to gold prices. She's not the first Trump pick for the Fed to advocate a return to the gold standard, with his 2 previous failed Fed choices, Stephen Moore and Herman Cain, also advocating for a revival of that policy. And then have like a little mini link related. Fed Chair Jerome Powell slams idea of returning U.S. to gold standard. Would Powell exit Fed Chair if Trump fired him? No, he tells Congress. No, Mr. Powell, Trump's got plans for you. Keep pushing that rate down. In picking Shelton, Mr. Trump is aiming to place a supporter on the Federal Reserve, which he's argued is slowing economic growth and depressing the stock market by keeping interest rates too high. The Fed currently is maintaining its benchmark rate in a range of 2.25 to 2.5, but Shelton says she wants to lower rates, quote, hear me out. I'm going to get closer to make it more dramatic. As fast, as efficiently, as expeditiously as possible, she said. Donald Trump tweets out, this is again back in 2019, July. I am pleased to announce that this is my intention to nominate Judy Sheldon, PhD, U.S. Executive Director, European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, to be on the board of the Federal Reserve. So I'll stop at that point. Q posted December 12th, 2018. Do we have the Fed? Yes, we do. Or the gold? Yes, we do. And the gold shall destroy the Fed. Nearly, pretty much, 7 months later, July, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, right after December, repeats exactly that same thing I just read you to remind you, hey, I said that we had the gold and it will destroy the Fed. Yeah. Oh, here's a link I want you to look at. And it's the one I just read you, July 9th, 2019. So that was what? Basically 6 months ago. 5 months ago. July, August, September, October, November, December, and I know we just hit January, whatever. 6 months. Why? No one asked him. Nobody said to Q, hey, back on that gold thing, Q. No. Q took it upon themselves to repost what they already posted without being prompted. Because if they're prompted, they put that in there. Hey, someone asked a question. Here it is. We answered it. Here's that. Nope. They're just reposting something they already posted and said, oh, hey, by the way, look who Trump's nominating. And is it possible he may try to nominate her to be the Fed head governor? Governor. Do tell, governor. So, like I think I've said, and I think I might be right on this. He is going to ride, Trump is going to ride this dirty, nasty, fiat-backed by nothing garbage system, fractional reserve lending crap into the ground until it's destroyed. And right in there, we take the rates way the hell down. Your mortgages go way the hell down. Rents come way down. You can afford more house. You've got more money in your pocket because, again, you're just throwing it away, giving it to the banks. Interest rates just going to the banks. Most of your mortgage goes to the banks. A sliver of it goes to the principal. It's ridiculous. It should be the other way around. Sliver goes to you filthy banks. Most of my money goes to paying off my effing mortgage. How about that? No. No, you might be able to pay it off in 12 years if we did that. 10 years maybe. No. We need you stuck for 30 years. Sucker. The decision to pick 20-year bonds is not surprising in light of persistent pushback by the primary dealer community against longer durations. Furthermore, the fact that the Treasury previously issued 20-year bonds means it is familiar with the mechanics and market demands. The Treasury discontinued the issuance of 20-year bonds, by the way, back in 1986. Bring it back old school, baby! So, yeah, there's a little more to the article, but how about giving you what you need? Yeah, you got what you needed. Creating these fancy, how about the 21-year bond? We'll go to the 25-year bond, 26-year bond. 26 and a half, Just keep the system going. Trump knows exactly what he's doing. It sounds terrible. It sounds scary. What the hell's going on? And if it does turn scary and you're sitting on some precious metals, you're going to be happy. If you're sitting on some cryptocurrency, I think you're going to be happy too. If it doesn't turn scary and Trump finagles this whole thing and figures it out and it wasn't that hard at all, we transitioned, he wants it backed by gold. It's going to be very positive for the price of gold. I still think, regardless, it'll be positive for crypto. Crypto doesn't need that one way or the other, honestly. It's a fixed number of assets, and that's it. So as people pick away at that and buy it and buy it and buy it, there's going to be a little more left, a little more to trade online, and all of a sudden, the price has nowhere to go but up. Regardless of that stuff. But if some of that stuff happens, it'll be positive for crypto anyways, in my humble opinion. Take care.